You guys look great. Kevin, thanks for bringing this up. Now I gotta do this, man. So last week I was here. We all listened to Adriana, and it was great. Really showing us that if we listen to God and follow our guidance, even though when we walk into a 20,000 square foot house to clean it, we still know we're on our path and we're ready to go. So it was an awesome service. Thank you, Adriana, for sharing that with us. Some of you might have looked in your bulletin at the title of today's service. For me, I believe it's Another's Worth is the title. And we'll really kind of try to explore the concept of worth and how we project our thoughts, beliefs, and ideas onto others and onto ourselves to base worth. So in order to start that, I'm just going to read you the definition of worth. So the definition of worth is the value equivalent to that of someone or something under consideration. The level at which someone or something deserves to be valued. So if we look at the definition of worth, we have to look at value at the same time. So we use worth, we assign value to something to give it worth. Let's go to basic thoughts here. Math. 5 is greater than 1. The value of 5 is greater than the value of 1. The worth of 5 is greater than 1. So when we talk of some worth, we're automatically ranking it based on the value we project onto it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. We'll get over the mental part here in a second. I just want to set the groundwork for the concepts we're going to go over. So you'll hear me say value and stuff, and they're interchangeable, but worth comes out of value, and value is given from us. We create value. We create value. Why is a diamond more valuable than a rock? Why is a $1 bill more valuable than a $5 bill? We create this value, right? So we ultimately create worth. So as we go through, we can recite back to that. You hear me say value, we'll think worth. You hear me say worth, we'll think we're assigning value to something. And we do that to rate, to rank. I don't know, I'm not necessarily clear why we do it, but we do it and it's ingrained in what we do. We're taught to rank. Maybe it's for survival, for who we need to go to get the right answer. We rank based on the value we've assigned. All right, moving forward. How do we assign value? How do we assign worth? And we'll do, as we go through, we'll talk about assigning value and assigning worth, and we do it, we project it onto others, we assign value to other people, and we assign value to ourselves. And we'll talk about both ways kind of all the way through. But one of the first and the easiest ways to identify how we assign value is based on matter. We assign value, and it's quick. We assign value based on matter quick. We don't even know we're doing it. And matter is, obviously we know what matter is. Matter is what kind of car you drive, how much money you have. That is the easy human way to assign value. We also assign value based on life circumstances. So we assign value based on someone's job, not necessarily their job as it comes to money, but their job as it may come to power, or their job as it may come to social standing. We assign value to how many Twitter followers you have. If you have 2 million Twitter followers and I have 10, we've assigned value. 2 million is greater than 10. So in turn, we're assigning worth to our Twitter account, right? And we're rating it. So and kind of with life circumstances, is successes and failures. And we do this a lot to ourselves. We assign our worth based on if we succeeded at something or if we failed at something. And that goes into the next one, which is big for me, and it's big for what we're going to do today, is we assign value based on actions. We assign value and we determine worth based on actions. And we do this to other people a lot. And we do this with actions, and we take someone's actions and we judge it. Good, bad, and different. If we judge it as good, we're still judging it. If we judge it as bad, we're still judging it. It doesn't matter what our judgment is, but we take their actions and we judge it. So we attach to the actions of someone else. And we cannot see beyond those actions to see what is true. who that person is. And I think we're also kind of ingrained to say that people are their actions. Right? As we walk through life, if you're always doing the right thing and the good thing, you're a good person. If you're always doing the wrong thing as we see it, then you're a bad person. We are taught to kind of, people are what they do, right? We're told that in elementary school. It's not what you say, it's what you do. Actions prove, words don't. Actions speak louder than words. So we take that to the next level where we cannot see them true. We cannot see them as a child of God because actions don't prove who you are. Raise your hand if you've ever done something that you know is not you. Every hand goes up. Probably more than 10 times. You know what I'm saying? So our actions are not who we are. We are the Christ at all times. We are the Christ. We are Spirit. And our actions, what we do in our actions, they either express our Christ or they dim our Christ. And it's not good or bad. We're choosing to either express or dim who we truly are. But as we look at people, we look at their actions and we define them based on their actions. And we give so much value and we determine the worth of somebody else based on their actions. We do it on all three. We do matter, circumstances, but actions are the big ones. We can't get past it. Now sometimes, especially family and friends, we really do, most of us I believe, in this room at least, do a really good job of seeing someone past their actions when we love them, or when we're close to them. Oh, so-and-so, that's not who he is. It's just a moment in time, right? But when we look at other people that aren't really in our inner circle, we love to attach and judge, good and bad. Don't hear me just say bad, but we love to attach and judge what they do. And we determine their worth to us based on what they do. Someone's a really good businessman, awesome. Maybe he's retired. We know he's made a lot of money. He's always got a nice car, a nice jacket. And we look at him as worthy. If we have a business question or a money question, we're going to go to him because he is worthy of that. He is worthy of that information. And we do this all across the board. And he might be worthy of that and unworthy at mowing the lawn. You know what I'm saying? He might have never mowed a lawn before, and we consider him unworthy of mowing the lawn. And that's pretty simple. I hope you get it. But it kind of goes across the board. So if we're attaching to the actions, we judge them. I'm just going to read a story from the Bible, the big one. Hopefully you guys all know this story. You should, if I can find my spot here. And it's just a small little example of what I was saying. Let's move this. I'll just read it. You guys can figure out what story it is. Jesus said to him, "There was a man who went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and bandits attacked him and robbed him, and beat him, and left him with little life remaining. And then they went away. And it chanced that a priest was going down that road, and he saw him and passed on. And likewise a Levite came and arrived at that place, and saw him and passed on. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. And he came to him, and bound him, and bound up his wounds, and poured on them wine and oil. And when he put him on his own donkey, and brought him to the inn, and took care of him." And it goes on, and he gives the innkeeper money. Says, "Whatever you need, if you spend more than this, I'll repay you." So, in our kind of existence thus far as humans, we give value to the Samaritan, the good Samaritan. He is the value in the story. He is what we consider a high valuable. We're going to place him here. Where do we place the bandits? They're going to be down here. Where do we place the priest? Maybe a little above the bandit because he didn't really beat him up. He just walked by him. And then the Levite, well, maybe he's in a hurry. But their value is less than the value of the Good Samaritan, and even less than the value of the guy that got beat up. And we've done this for years. I mean, I don't want to speak on the whole of humanity, but we judge someone's actions and we give them value based on this. So, how do we know? Let me say this. We'll not go there yet. Do we know who the Levite was? Do we know who the priest was? Do we know who truly, do we ever see the priest and the Levite standing forth truly when we think of that story? We place them down as less than because they passed on. We don't know the value of them passing on. What if the Samaritan had something that he needed to take care of? He needed the opportunity to help somebody out. It was his moment to shine. He's good based on this one action. Do we know his whole life? Maybe the guy who got beat up needed to be connected with the Samaritan in order for them to figure out a life sum, pay some karmic debt. And without the Levite passing on, and without the priest passing on, could never happen. And we instantly, because we judge the actions, we devalue the passing on. We devalue that person that passed on. Without circumstantial evidence, without asking them what they do, we look at what they did, and we devalue them. So, I thought it was going to be a funny, cute little story, but it ended up being really cool. Because I think everybody agrees when we hear that story, we automatically villainize and heroize. I don't even know how you say it. So we're assigning rank to these guys just in our story. We're placing them up based on the value we project onto them, right? So, another thing in that story is, I'll say that for the next one. It's just going to work better a little later. So we'll go out of that, and I want to kind of go into this story, and I love this story. This is one of my favorite stories. It's probably because I'm a little rebellious. It's probably because I haven't walked a straight and narrow line. So this is Jesus, and believe it or not, Jesus went to a lot of parties. He was always invited. You guys can laugh, that was supposed to be a joke. He was always invited. Everybody wanted his presence, throughout his life they would ask him to come and everything. So this is a party. It's early, he's not young, but he hasn't started his Christine ministry yet. So this is in Bahar, and someone throws a party, and because Jesus came, and he invites everybody to come. There's no segregation of who can come or anything like that. So I'll just read. And many came, among them thieves, extortioners, and courtesans. And Jesus sat with them and taught. But they who followed him were much aggrieved because he sat with thieves and courtesans. They upbraided him and said, Master of the wise, this day will be an evil day for you. The news will spread that you consort with courtesans and thieves, and men will shun you as they shun a snake. God and all master men judge. Okay, and so that's the priest, the people with Jesus, the ones projecting their expectations on him. And then Jesus says, God and all master men judge men by what they are and not by what they seem to be. Not by their reputation or their fame. What is reputation or fame based on? What you've done. What you've done in the past. Right? These courtesans and thieves are children of my Father God. Their souls are just as precious in the sight as yours, or of the Brahmic priests. This is really powerful. This will help me go into the next section. Now, I want you to really, this inspires me. This is metaphysics in a nutshell for me. And they are working out the same life sums that you, who pride yourselves on respectability and moral worth, are working out. And some of them have solved much harder sums than you have solved. You men who look at them with scorn. How powerful is that last section? We look at people and we give them value based on what they do. But we do not know the value of each individual experience. We don't know the impact of individual experiences as metaphysicians, if we stand forth and believe in what we teach, we have to look beyond one lifetime to even begin to understand the value of one simple action. And Jesus was able to stand and teach these people, and he recognized them as Christ, which was pretty easy for him based on the evidence we have. But he didn't get stuck in what they do or what their reputation was to place value on them. They were valuable spirits. And he was able to recognize that no matter the actions or the past experiences, you don't know. You can't know the impact of someone else's life or anything that happens. And we tend to, another thing, we tend to take our stuff we've done, past experiences, good, bad, and different, we're not talking all about bad, and we wear them. We wear them like a badge of honor. You know, we walk around and say, well, I was raised poor, so that makes me tough. That makes me valuable when it comes to spending money, being frugal, because I know my badge of honor means I was raised poor. So I am worthy of having an opinion on how to spend money. We wear badges of honor. Big one's death in the family. You know, if we have a death in the family, we tend to carry it around like our value is now greater than someone who hasn't had a death in the family. You know, we have that thing to make us feel better because we value that experience higher than, greater than. And another thing we do on the other side with death in the family, we always, what's the first thing you say? I can't imagine how you feel, but I'm so sorry. If you're not the person, right? I can't imagine how you feel. What is that saying? I am not worthy because I have not experienced this. My worth is less than yours because I have not experienced this. And the kicker is, the mind blower here, our experiences are so different, we believe. We see our experiences as so different. My action and my experience is so different from yours. You haven't had anybody die, I have. But the lessons learned, the experiences, the value from the experiences are eerily similar. Eerily similar. We could be learning the same lesson at the same time. Somebody's learning from a death in the family. Somebody's learning it from tripping on the curb. You know what I'm saying? And we think we separate ourselves and we give value based on past experiences. So, what do we need to do? Let's lighten it up a little bit. I didn't want to come in here and just be like, hey, what are y'all doing? And we do it, and it's so quick too. We don't think about it, and we don't go through it and say, I'm going to start judging everybody because I'm going to value everybody. We do it subconsciously. It's just boom. We do it, we don't even know we do it because we're triggered, we're programmed to rank and place value on everything. Okay? And don't go bad. If you're doing it, don't feel bad about yourself. Everybody's doing it. I did it this morning. On the way in here, talking about it. Oh, I'm not worthy to stand up there. What do I know? I'm not even a fifth-year student like Adriana and Lori. But I am worthy because we all are. Moving on. So how do we get past, what can we do, right, to really start to see truly see people as valuable, or to see true value? We need to let go of having to know the value. We need to let go of having to know someone's worth outside of ourselves. I'd be willing to bet you don't even know your own true worth and value. We need to let go of having to know somebody else's. Release that attachment to needing to rank somebody else. Release that attachment to needing to place yourself in the list of 10 people. Where do you stand? We got to release that. And if we can do that, we can stop judging. Like, if we can stop judging people's actions as good or bad, that's a baby first step. And it's hard. It's really hard when something big happens or something tragic. You know, it's hard to detach and rise above and see them as choosing to experience something we would never choose in our entire lives. But that first step is detaching our emotional ties to bad experiences. We need to take that badge of honor and go ahead and set it in the closet. Don't wear it around every day. A badge of honor is great. Yeah, you've been through a life experience, good, bad, and different. Don't wear it around. It's not who you are. It's one moment in time. So, as we move on, I really wanted to kind of explore the idea of our spiritual value. As we go through our life, we can try to determine values. Don't start trying to spend $1 bills for $5 bills. We still need to know the human aspect of it, right? So we get to the concept of that. But if we really explore value at the depths of our spirituality, we first have to say that all of us, humans, us, in this room at least, are you guys spirit?
Yes.
Yes. All right? So if we're spirit, and all spirit is one with God, then we are not separate. We are not separate, and we are all equally valuable at all times. Therefore, what is value? What is worth? But if we are truly spirit and we are one with God, we are all the same. So the value and worth is meaningless. Like, there's a good quote I got from somebody, wink wink, Cindy Fuller. And I'll just read it here. In God we are one. In matter we are unique expressions of equal value. Therefore, there is no value. Value does not exist in spirit. In matter we are equal. We are different expressions of equal value. Our impact, our value, our worth is equivalent. Because we're all here. We're all doing the same thing. Doesn't matter what our experiences look like. So when we can stand forth and not attach to somebody else's experiences, guess what? Stop attaching to your experiences. That's the hardest part. I know me, I can stand forth and say, I'm probably harder on myself than anybody else. And we get emotionally attached to what happens in the outer, and we base, that's who we are based on it. Our value is in the Christ. We can choose to dim it, or we can choose to express it. And it doesn't matter. If we choose to dim it, we are no less valuable than the person that chooses to express it. We're choosing a different path to learn the same thing. I don't even know what time it is. So I wanted to do this one demonstration here. I like doing little weird stuff every once in a while. So this is pretty basic. Oh, I need that. Bear with me, guys. Yeah.
So we're paying attention.
Yep. It's a little trick. Do something like they don't expect, and they won't fall asleep on you. So, you guys might see where I'm going with this. Let's look at this. What is the assigned value of this? $1, right? The assigned value based on what? What it says on its outside shell is $1. What is the value, the worth of this? $10. It's a little wrinkled, but it's still worth 10. Based on what? The way it looks, right? The way it looks. And that's based on projected thoughts and ideas and beliefs we have about our money, right? What are they made out of? Are they made out of the same thing?
Yeah.
Are they, do you think, the same weight? Same size? I mean, if we get real technical, there might be more ink on one of these, I don't know. But you got what I'm saying, right? What if I drop both of them? Is the same physics going to happen? Is the same impact of the ground going to happen? Let's see. They look pretty similar? Which one did you pick up off the floor if you found them walking down the sidewalk first?
Both of them.
You better pick up the 10. I'd probably pick up both of them because I like 11. Because 11 is greater than 10. But you see what we're doing. We place value. It's real simple. We place value on what we see, what we can see, what the outer is. We don't look at the impact to us, the impact to our world, the impact to our spirits is the same. The action of them falling, one might fall to the left, one might fall to the right, but that impact is the same. 10, 1, doesn't matter. 100 to 1, doesn't matter. It's all helping. It's all us. Alright? So, we are spirit. Spirit is one with God. Value does not exist. Value does not exist in spiritual realm. We are different manifestations of the same value. Can we agree with that?
Yes.
Can we stop judging actions, our own and others? Work on it. Here's how you work on it. Identify. First step. If you can identify when you're doing it. Just identify. It's the first step. Identify when you're making judgment. Good or bad. It's not like you guys are walking around doing this. You guys are nice, forgiving people, but you're still judging it. If we can identify when we're judging it, we can then choose. If we don't ever identify when we're doing it, we can't ever make the choice to stop. So the first step, just identify when you're judging it. If talking on ourselves, a level when we look at ourselves, we probably don't know our own worth. We probably don't know our own value when it comes to the grand scheme. We will never know our worth until we start living worthy. And that's standing forth and letting our Christ express. Not dimming it. Standing forth and through your actions, your thoughts, your matter. Stand forth and let your Christ express. Alright, I think I'm done preaching.
No, you're just getting started.
So, let's do a little meditation. We'll put our feet on the floor, and we'll hopefully anchor some of this in. We relax in our chair. I just want you to see a column of light come over you. Doesn't matter what color. Could be orange, green, blue, it doesn't matter. Any column of light comes over you and begins to lift you up. Let's lift up together till we get to a plateau. Get to your cloud, your plateau, your beach, your higher self space. God, we ask that you fill this space with love, safety, and value. We ask that Jesus Christ stand forth with us. We ask that all our guides and teachers join us in this space. We are free to be our spirit, which is great. Now I want you, as you stand forth, expressing your Christ as your spirit, I want you to bring somebody forward. Bring somebody that you have valued based on outer experiences. It could be great. You've put them on a pedestal. It could be somebody you've negatively judged. Bring them forward. Let's look at them and we release our attachment to their experiences. And as we do that, whatever the quality is that we judged and valued, whatever the instance was, we see it pulling out of their body, and we let it go. We let it go to God. As it lifts out, watch it go up. Release the attachment to the event or the matter that made you value them. Now look down their face and recognize their Christ expressing. You've given them freedom. Now, I want you to set them aside for the moment. I want you to stand forth. And I want you to identify something that you have valued, something that you have judged to create worth inside of you. Good, bad, doesn't matter. And let's pull that out. Let's pull that out of us. Whatever it's a situation, a piece of matter, a past experience that we rely on. If it's one of our badges of honors, awesome. Let's pull it out of us and let's let it go. Let it float up above. Release your attachment to what made you value it. And let it go. Now look at you, look at yourself, and look at the other person you've invited in. And I want you to look them in the eyes and see their Christ. See your own Christ. See that other person's Christ. And join hands and know you guys are equal. If you go back far enough, you're all one. Therefore, value is shared at all times. So we're going to release ourselves. We're going to release the person we dropped in, that we brought in. We're going to thank them for their time. We're going to come back down that column of light. Back down. When we come down, we're going to be lighter and freer. Because we no longer have to carry those two burdens of our judgment. And we don't have to determine what is valuable and who is valuable. Fill your chair. Be happy to be here. You can open your eyes whenever you want. So, identify when we judge our actions, and then we can choose. And when you're feeling unworthy, let it go. Your worth is equal to, greater than, less than, all at the same time. Because we are all one. We're all working together. As separate as it may feel at sometimes.